Thank you very much for all the feedback. It was a great thing to be able to read all your comments and thoughts. So thanks very much for playing it and giving us a lot of feedback. So we put together an updated demo version where you can see our improvements that we made, and check it out and let us know what you think.
There is always a lot of feedback, always a lot of reactions, and they are absolutely different. There are critical ones, there are positive ones. And the thing is that our team reacts on it absolutely calmly, because this is a source of feedback, and this is how we improve ourselves. This is how we improve our game. This is how we do our homework, like work on mistakes and so on. Even when the feedback is negative and super negative and very emotional even, I think that this just shows how people do care about the game, and this is how Gothic is kind of part of their lives, and we need just to admit it. We need to respect their opinion as well, and pay attention to details as well.
So I think there was a lot of talk about, like, yeah, why are we like not playing Nameless Hero? Why are we having this Nyras guy in there? We knew from early on, okay, we have to do at some point a demo, because people don't like to buy games anymore without playing them first. Initially we thought about, like, oh, let's do it in the old mine, but like, because it's very easy to gate the mine, right? But the old mine is kind of like not representative of the full game, both visually but also from a perspective of like what you do in there. We thought about, okay, let's try to find some character that is part of the game anyhow, show his perspective when he got tossed in the colony. And then the writing team came up with Nyras, because at the same time we were working on the focus stones. This character, he doesn't do anything like super crazy important, but he's the segue into the whole focus stone topic. It brings in another angle of, like, the sleeper is very present in the world of Gothic, and so is the swamp camp, who is like worshipping the sleeper. So I felt like, how can this character be convinced to join the swamp camp? How did it happen? We felt it's a really nice introduction about these core elements about the game, and also being able to show in a gated experience.
I think that there are like 3 different approaches of how usually companies share their content about the development of the game. Like the first one, where they do not share anything, they just release a trailer, the second one, and the game, and that's it. The second one, the second option is just to show everything and engage with the community as much as possible, like to maybe even do kind of live development, share like all the assets, designs, I don't know, concept arts and everything. It's super open type of the development. And I think that we are again in the middle. We are trying to balance between these 2 approaches, and we are trying to give pieces of information. So sometimes we show some assets, we show sometimes some concept arts, sometimes we give a chance to the players to choose the voice of Diego in the remake. For example, it is a case when we provided 3 audio samples of Diego's voice in German language, and people, German-speaking community could choose it. In the demo you could hear the voice of Matthias Keller, who was chosen by the community.
When we did the Nyras demo, we built it specifically for events, having in mind that, like, you play it for like 30, maximum 60 minutes, and also players who have never seen or played Gothic should be able to have an easy introduction. And when we first showed off this the Nyras Prologue, people were like, yeah, that's great, let's just show us more. And we're like, wait a minute, we have that next year playable at Gamescom anyhow, so let's not like talk more about this. Then we had it playable at Gamescom, and people were like, so when are you gonna release it to the public? And I'm like, well, we need to work on the game. Yeah, we don't have the time to do it, and it was working, but there were certain things that were like for example, we didn't have at Gamescom a settings menu, because we knew exactly like, yeah, you play on these systems, so there's no need to change it. But if you release it to the public, there's a spectrum of computers that should play the demo. So we thought about, okay, when would be a good timing to make it happen? And we combined it with a Steam Next Fest, because that's just where a lot of demos get visibility. And we felt like it's a good moment.
The community is always demanding more, they always ask for more, and I absolutely understand them, because I was on their position like many years before I started working here, and I was also visiting like Discord and Steam page, and there was nothing. And I was asking like, when should we expect news? When is release date and everything? Now I need to answer these questions.
We did what people wanted. They wanted to play this demo. And I'm glad there was a lot of feedback. There was like 15,000 surveys filled out, which is awesome. So thanks for doing that. It's a great deal of help for us making the game even better. And we see a lot of things that like we didn't have so much on the radar. For example, like the movement in the game. Our main reference really was Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a game also that has a very slow pacing in terms of movement. And the clear feedback though was people like it more reactive, and that certain actions that are repeated over and over again should be rather quick, which means non-realistic. And that is fine. It's just like a matter of like, you want realism or you want it a little gamey. And it feels like certain mechanics, there's definitely a push for getting it more gamey, and we'll definitely do that.
For my perspective, we get a lot of feedback, and we are also looking for the feedback, watching a lot of videos, reading a lot about community in Discord, and just searching all the information about that. And for us, was a good thing. Like, we are aware of some problems of the game, that we are working on them, because the demo is how the game is. It's not a demo just clean it for the people. So many times they confirm things that we have in mind, or at least we have some flags about, okay, this could not be the best solution, and the community many times say, okay, in this case, solve it, or we don't want this. So for us, it's helped us a lot to have this feedback, and also using it for improving the game. That is what we are aiming for.
In the demo specifically, there were certain elements that were not working out. The demo is just what it is. It's like not representative of the full game in a way that like you can just say like, okay, like the full game will be exactly like that. The demo locked at a certain time of day, so you obviously have just no visual variety. There are no weathers in there. It's always sunny, right? So you see one specific weather and daylight condition all the time. It's not doing justice to the full game, of course, and that's what everybody has to realize also, that like, of course it has like daily routines, but they are nowhere near as detailed as in the original. And of course it has some monsters, but like, of course you won't see, I don't know, how monsters beyond that react. You only see very few characters, and you don't see them in a camp where they are actually living and where they have a real daily routine. They are kind of like all in an extreme situation because they are trapped. You should get an idea of like what can happen with progression, but it was maybe a little too fast. So players might get the wrong idea of like, oh, in the remake you will actually progress faster than you will do. But no, I mean the pacing is still very much the same, the power curve. And then I think another big problem of the combat in the demo was the hit zones. So like there were just clear bugs in there that like sometimes you would think like you land a hit with the sword because the models touch each other, but it wouldn't recognize the hit. And so it gives you this awkward feeling of like, oh, the combat system is bad. But yeah, it's a glitch, it's a bug, it's something we'll address and fix. I'm not saying like, hey, all is good, right? There are a lot of stuff that we need to improve much further and continue to work on until the very end.
I think that without such an incredible, passionate, active and crazy creative community, this series we could lose it. And I think that the Gothic community is the reason why we are here sitting today and recording this making of, because of this feedback, because of Gothic fans' reaction. So I'm super grateful for that, and I hope we will keep doing this cooperation and work together to make Gothic even better.